God be with you, my friend. Good to see you, friend. Praise God.
Ё, пизда, он застрял, походу, нахуй. Залазь давай, заебал. Пиздец, ебать. А если я спрыгну, я не залезу? Ну-ка, помыться можно? О, нихуя он пропал. Бля, куда делся, нахуй? Так, и что надо делать? Я уже не помню нихуя. В корчму надо ебашить. Бля, надо лошадь нахуй, я не могу так долго идти пешком. Так пиздец как долго. Ты чё, замедляешься, нихуя себе? Еба кусты замедляют меня, нихуя себе. Подожди, я не туда пошел. Не туда, ну. Опять лесорубы все вырубили, да. Бля. Опачки нахуй. Нихуя вот тут. Ну-ка, лошадь, дай мне нахуй. Тормози, да, вагонетку свою нахуй.
Would you happen to have room for me? We're headed the same way.
Hop on. There's plenty of room.
А куда вы едете? Не, мне туда не надо, нахуй. Очень сложно. Лошадь. Блять. Все, езжай, короче. Я так дойду. Так. Бля, далеко бежать, нихуя себе нахуй. А это кто, блядь? Бой обучения. Пойдем в бой, пройдем обучение. Опа, шел пить. О, конь. Красть.
That bastard's stealing a horse.
Да я понял, блядь, нахуя ты мне это говоришь? Вот пидорасина. Чё, блядь, такое надо? Пошел нахуй, я хочу покататься на лошади. А, блядь.
Take that!
Вот тварь. Чё ты меня скидываешь, нахуй? Да иди как дам сейчас тебя нахуй. Из дюлей, блядь, нахуй. Понятно, короче, нахуй. Пиздос. Не хочет она меня вести. Так, я думаю, лучше на дорогу выйти. Нахуй эти леса, блядь. Там всякие бандиты ходят, блядь. Ебать, это чё? Ля нахуй. Крюк? Парящий в воздухе? Уедь. На нахуй. Уедь, это как, блядь? Пиздец. Где там дорога эта ебаная? Сука, и быстрого перемещения нету, нахуй. Коня нету. О, цыганский табор. Цыганина.
Кайджас море.
Чё, блядь? Чего вы там жрете, да? Цыганский табор.
Tetumenga, you look just like that gajo that Aranka was talking about. Go and see the voivod. Hail.
Где он, блядь, там?
You married that old battle axe anyway. We could have been together in this life too.
Don't even start. We've been over this
Good evening. What do you need?
Can you show me how you pull off some of your feats of strength?
I don't know. You mean you don't know how to hand out slaps? Or just how to follow one up?
Well, I'm not a complete beginner. And I'm not as interested in slaps as I am in swordsmanship and wrestling.
Ah, I see. I could help with that. I wouldn't want to beat a dead horse, after all. You know what I mean, right?
I understand. I'll try not to disappoint you. And I'd be grateful if you'd make time for me, Master.
Of course I'll show you what I know. But you can't be stingy, my friend.
I understand.
Сколько нахуй? Азы. У меня нет столько денег. Короче, понятно.
There's nothing. You won't come here making trouble, fella.
Чего? Мгм.
Now hold on. I'll pay you. There's no need to drag anyone else.
At least you have some coin, if not a decent upbringing.
Пиздец, блядь. Что му нахуй? Где моя кровать приебали? Тут я не могу приблизить карту. Ухить вообще. Наверное, на втором этаже. Да, он говорил тут. Точно, блядь, нахуй, 15, да. Проебал все деньги почти. Охуеть.
Greetings to you.
Ты хули ты встал, блядь, время видел, нахуй? 6 утра, блядь, спать пизду, нахуй.
Careful.
В смысле кайфул, блядь? Ходит тут уже с тарелками, 6 утра. Ну-ка нахуй, работу мне бегом, нахуй.
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my creed.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
This has something to do with that alchemy of yours, eh? I don't know much about that stuff.
Nitra is saltpeter. White crystals similar to salt.
And what needs salting here in the mill? Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for a young Semine?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
Я могу сказать, ты охуел, что ли? Блять, ну давай, да.
All right, then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look. That you can point me in the right direction. And also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So this Bonnie is some kind of witch who's in on this golem stuff.
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. And you don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
You have a secret storage space? You're full of
What's so surprising?
Well, actually, it makes sense. So how do I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget. You could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth, Zinnik. On the other hand, Zinnik might be holding his tongue.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinnik, she may want some...
Bonnie? Never. Being a... Right
Бля,
along.
сколько текста
So
много,
you're back as
заебал
soon as
ты
possible.
пиздеть.
So,
God be with you.
Все, иди нахуй.
I
Бомба.
apologize.
Чё тебе надо, на? Бля, пиздец. К югу-западу. Вот юго-запад. Юго-запад, нахуй. Ручей. Переходишь ручей, идешь налево, тропинка. Убери ты факел. А, ну вот. Тут, блядь, один маг, нахуй. Ой, я поебал поворот. Ну-ка нахуй, где там, где стоит? Ага. Приезжай нахуй. Ох ты, сука. Нихуя улетел, блядь. Опачки, нахуй. Яички, нахуй. Угу. Заебись. Сидит, блядь.
Greetings.
Бонка, на. Кто похлебку жрет сидит. Я ищу селитрянную яму, на.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie.
It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
Индро.
Henry's fine.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
Да.
I've got something here.
Вот смотри, мака сколько на. Мак, полынь, чертополох, крапива. Так, выбрать, подтвердить
My word,
передачу.
that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour will look like, but I'm mostly curious to see if Crazel will really be able to breathe life into it with the help of saltpeter.
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my heels for dust. And I suggest you do the same. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
No. I have plenty of time. But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zenek in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zenek and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the millers finally found a normal hand for once. But it's a shame I don't have my dog Sniffer no more. It was fun with him at least.
Crazel mentioned that he died.
Aye, from some fucking disease. He started getting these lumps all over his body. Then he stopped eating and what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
Не, ты чё? Кузнецов, рыцарей, воров, семьи, изучение семьи. Не, из кузнецов.
No. Pa was a blacksmith. I inherited something from him, I hope.
Oh, really? Would you teach me how to make, maybe, barrel hoops?
Those are pretty hard. Wouldn't you rather start with, maybe
Хуя себе
nails?
обручи для гвоздей
Sure.
захотела делать.
I'm pretty quick to learn and patient. That is, with one exception. When Crazel starts spouting off his alchemy theories, I'd rather run for the hills. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
I don't think I've ever met anyone more annoying in my life. Most of the time, I don't even understand what he's on about.
Once he told me there's no such thing in the world as a man and a woman. Only mercury and sulfur. What are you supposed to say to that? Best to keep your mouth shut. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpeter. Before you came, and before Zenek fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
Ну, блядь, это мало.
A barrel isn't much.
But we did bloody thorough job. Unfortunately, Crazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Crazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. And Crazel, of course, didn't tell me shit.
Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or
Goodbye.
carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave. The best natural saltpeter maker.
Crazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Пиздец.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Well, I haven't met him yet. Where can I find him?
The cemetery is beyond Troskovitz, towards the Apollonia rocks.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun. And pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskovitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, Henry.
I'd like you to teach me something.
For a few groschen, it won't be a problem. What would you like to know?
Нихуя. Понятненько. Короче, понятно. Надо пойти купить мясо. Так, сытость у меня украсть. Блин. Простите. Бля, у меня тут решетки нахуй светится. Сука. Ну я что поймаю, да? Мы сохранимся. Сейчас сразу поймают по-любому. Чё, блядь? Блядь, ты арестован.
Stop where you are! We're after you! Halt!
I surrender!
Ah, hear you. There's no excuse for murder, you swine.
Я понял. 3800? Уедь. А чё здесь стражника, ёб? Ебать, ебать.
Wait, let me explain.
Talk then, but make it...
That man was a dangerous band.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, that's not something he's going to go about announcing, is it?
Right. But I'd expect he'd be at least a little suspicious. I reckon you're a filthy liar.
Fuck you.
Пошел.
Fine. You had your chance.
На нахуй, ебать. Нихуя, блядь. Так вот нахуй. Оп, сырок, ебать. Куда ты побежал стоять, нахуй? Сука. Гандон. Так, мне надо коптильня. Блять, а где тут купить можно мясо? Подожди. Люди, общество, ремесло. Купец, писец.
What did I do to you? Pacify him, quick!
Még egy köpés, és nem bírom tovább.
Someone
Mondom,
should kick their asses.
úgy néznek ránk,
Really
mint a
clever
gyilkosokra.
fuckers' wings.
Csodálkozol
Look at
rajta?
them human
Egy junk...
asses.
Greetings.
We should be living in fear for our women in our own village.
What now?
Nobody stays with that rabble around. Stop hiding, you piece of shit!
Nem tetszik, ahogy néznek minket.
Someone should kick their
Hivatott
asses.
idejönni. Amin nyugodtak leszünk, akkor ők is. Könnyű ezt mondani. Még egy köpés, és nem bírom tovább. Mondom, Nyuki. Úgy néznek ránk, mint a gyilkosokra. Csodálkozol rajtuk? Egy junk, és tűnjünk.
О, нихуя.
Throwing their ghost faces around here. Like we should be living in fear for our women in our own village. Right. Nobody stays with that rabble around. Someone should kick
It
their
was
asses.
you who committed that
The
murder.
murderer!
I'm sure
В
of it.
смысле убийца?
Nem tetszik, ahogy néznek minket. Hiba volt idejönni. Amin nyugodtak leszünk, akkor ők is. Könnyű ezt mondani. Még egy köpés, és nem bírom tovább.
Ну пиздец, нахуй. Коптильня, блядь.
Úgy néznek ránk, mint a
There you
gyilkosok.
are. You murderer.
Csodálkozol rajta? Egy junk,
Блять, это не коптильня, сука. Где коптильня, на? Чё ты пиздишь там? Где ваша коптильня? Сзади где-то. Вот это на?
Fuck off!
Шел на. Закоптить продукты. Это пиздец, на. Ты заебал, на.
I've been waiting for you. If you keep...
Нихуя, блядь, шма, нахуй, ебашь. 2 удара и все. Пиздец. Бля. Пиздец. Вот тебе мясо. Вот мясо. Нихуя. Ебать, говядина. Сюда. Рог еще. Первый? Вторая. Первая. Ебать, 52 мяса. Ебать. Фуру. Батя в крови весь. Бля, перевес, ебать. Подожди. Ебать мясо, нахуй, набрал. Перевес. Заебал ты.
Here you are, you... That's quite enough.
I saw a murder. Quick!
Нихуя ты.
Mary in heaven! Shit your eyes out.
Here! I'd smash you in the face myself, but I'll leave that up to the experts.
Ну пизда ты, нахуй. Заебали. Нахуй я убивал тогда этого? Я ж пройти тогда не смог. Где найти этого, блядь, мясника? Вот где, блядь, где, нахуй? Ну, удалось нихуя.
What? Hail Mary.
Ugh, what a mess.
Вот колбаса. Мясник. Вот я нашел. Так, вот тут, да? А, ну нихуя не понял, о чем спичь.
There you are.
Send my God!
Give up.
Да иди нахуй, я хочу купить-то.
Piss off. Fine. I'll make you surrender.
Эй,
You should have yielded. Now we'll display your corpse on the pillory.
все. Заебал, блин, мясо надо купить. В смысле вскрыть, блядь? Бля, как же неудобно тут вскрывать.
But I closed that door. It was here just a moment ago. There's a thief here. He's stealing something.
О, это конь не? Заебись. Чё это было? Поехали, бля. Сучка не хочет, да? Блин. Ну и хуй с ними. Чё у тебя басит там, блядь? Фыркач. Хуя себе у него стоимость. О, 1800. Вон он, сука. Лоу, блядь.
I'm Henry. And you must be the local gravedigger, right?
Ignatius, master of the sod, at your service. Looking for a final resting place, are you? Or do you need to bury a dead goat?
I'm more interested in the grave digging profession as a whole.
Ah, once you try it, you'll never want to do nothing else till the day you die.
Так.
You got a big cemetery here. Pretty nice, too.
Ain't it? But being the gravedigger, I'll never have a place of my own here. They'll throw me by the wall like a dog and bury me without ceremony. But when I'm dead, I won't care. If it was up to me, I'd even bury the suicides in hallowed ground. We're all equal before death and the Lord. This game of better and worse places of final rest don't count for nothing.
What's the story with the dead people?
The story? They're dead. What more is there to tell?
But you said there's been a lot of people dying around here recently, right?
Well, it ain't usual for people to get offed by the cartload out here in the sticks, if you ask me. What do you reckon?
I don't know. Hadn't really thought about it that way.
That might be the reason, then, hey?
What?
Look, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying there's a lot of people dying. If things keep up like this, I'll be out of work in no time. There'll be no one left to bury.
Being a gravedigger must be a lonely job, eh? What are your duties?
Funny a young lad like you is so interested in grave digging. Not something you see every day.
Well, I'm only asking. No real reason.
That figures. Youngsters these days wouldn't know hard work if it bit 'em on the arse. It's no wonder I can't find any help.
Are you offering me a job?
No. I'm giving you a warning. You ain't cut out for this trade.
And how do you know that?
You've got that look. I can spot it a mile away.
Could you be more specific?
You just aren't cut out for it, and that's that. A gravedigger needs passion. A sense of duty ain't enough. It's a service, a labour of love, and the meaning of life all in one, lad.
But seriously, Ignatius, tell me about yourself.
Gravedigger, knacker, snorter's constant companion, and lover of colourful sunsets, all in one man.
You've nearly got more titles than the Emperor himself.
Well, I have been doing it for almost 40 years now. The bailiff pays me well, in coin and sometimes in goods.
Sounds appealing.
Not all that glitters is gold, lad. A gravedigger's got it hard, and so does a knacker. I pick up dead animals on the side of the road. That's the knacker's job. You could say, I have a knack for it. That's why people say I'm unclean. If I had children, they wouldn't be allowed to marry anyone besides an executioner or a gravedigger. It's so ingrained in folk. A fella takes care of things they wouldn't want to handle themselves, and this is how they repay him. Can't even go to the tavern no more.
Have you been a gravedigger your whole life? Have you ever thought of changing your trade?
I did think about it once, if I'm honest. I wanted to be a knacker in Yitchin, but some fool with friends in high places got the job, though he can't even tell a shovel from a spade. That really pissed me off, so I said, fuck it. Why would I want to dig graves for people who don't appreciate my craft?
So you've always been here otherwise?
And what of it? Do you think I get bored here? Not recently, I don't. But I think I told you that already.
I'm not from these parts, and I've seen a few conciliation crosses around here. What do they mean?
The same as where you come from, I reckon. They mark spots where the sins of man came to be regretted later.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
Aye, like when a fella buries an axe in someone's head over something stupid and then comes to regret it. Or if the law sees to it that he regrets it. The sinner then has to erect a conciliation cross to mark the site of his evil deed.
Where does he get the cross from?
Where do you think? From me.
You're in charge of that too? Stone cutting?
I know how to cut a cross out of stone. And what of it? With the soft sandstone around here, it's child's play.
So they're all your work?
I wish. I've only sold 2 or 3 recently. Most of these here are right old. You might find a few stories about them in the village chronicle what's kept at the rat house. All I know is a young fella once jumped off the cliffs near Takoff, and folks say the place is cursed.
Do you know any more stories?
Aye, I do, but I'm not telling you any. I'm not an old fishwife.
Кумушка. Охуеть.
Unfortunately, I had to bury both my parents recently.
My condolences, lad.
Thank you. I just don't know if it was done right.
Did you witness their deaths?
Unfortunately, they were killed in front of my eyes.
Oh, I understand that's never easy. But if you closed their eyes and buried them in consecrated ground, you've nothing to worry about.
I dug their grave next to our smithy. We didn't have a church in our village.
Well, that can't be avoided sometimes. Don't let it bother you. As long as you picked the spot with good intentions, that's all that matters. I'm certain their souls went straight to heaven. You needn't worry. You did everything right, lad.
Ignatius, I'm gonna need your help.
Of course. How many are there? Where do you want to bury them? Shall we grind the teeth up, or do you want to take them away in your purse?
None of that. I have a different, slightly unusual request. Bonnie from Lower Semine sent me. We're looking for a saltpeter pit.
From Lower Semine? What pit?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. What's it supposed to be? A pit to hell?
Yeah, something like that. At night, you hear the cries of tormented souls and catch the whiff of sulfur.
Well, that I can't help you with.
Not to worry. It's actually just a hole with some rotting carcasses in it. These white crystals form in it. And that's exactly what we're after.
You should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. What's all this about Salty Peter? I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take you there.
Really? That was easier than I thought.
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. You'll help me with something first.
Заебали, блядь.
I have some collections from some Slatigo farmsteads, and I'd be a fool if I didn't use a helping hand. At least one day I can take it a bit easy.
You want me to help you with your grave digging business?
Why not? You look like a strong fella. You'll be a good helper.
Заплатить ему мясом, нахуй.
I have a better idea.
Это все.
You tell me where I can find that pit, and I'll give you a nice piece of fresh meat for it.
I won't say no to that. Show me what you have.
Короче, давай ему нахуй. Курица, копченая, колбаса острая. Сушеная говядина.
Oh, aye, fresh meat. What a feast that'll make. Now, listen closely. That pit of yours lies at the end of a long journey that we'll take together on my wagon.
So you got meat out of me for nothing?
When I see how much you lot in Lower Semine are interested in it, I'm not just going to hand it to you on a plate. But thanks for the meat, and don't worry about a thing. Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner or later, everyone needs our services.
Гром.
And if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal with it.
Of course. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me when they see me with you. I wouldn't like to lose the honor I've earned as squire to a nobleman.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you of your honor if you let them. So what then? Shall we take a nice little ride with my boys Snorter and Drake, nice and early, at daybreak?
Let's get...
Didn't you understand me? We ain't going nowhere now. Like I said, be here at daybreak. That...
Is there some place I can wait for morning to come?
Of course, if you've got nothing better to do, you can see. If you know how to read, I have a book hidden in the outhouse I got of a dead fella. That'll make the time go faster. In fact, you can keep it. All I can do is admire all them fancy squiggles.
And where can I sleep?
At the inn in Truskowitz. Get a good breakfast there, too. You'll need it to be. Here's a little something so you know I take care of my helpers.
Утром. В сортире, говорит, книжка есть. Где сортир? А, вон где. Ну, там меня ждет пиздец. А, сырая. О. Переел, нахуй. Так, что за книга? Нихуя не видно. А, нихуя.
It's not exactly the nectar of the gods, but it's not too bad. Be careful. It's not safe here.
Небезопасно.
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this.
The dew is still on the leaves. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take care of us. Did I bring that stuff for Visor? Meat? Bane? Aesop? Got it all. Good. Come on, then. Get a move on. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Samine, eh?
Well, you could say that. I help the miller with whatever I can. I got a place to sleep there. Soon I'll be able to call the miller uncle.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Samine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that Bonnie of yours belong to that gang too?
Unfortunately, she does. Crazel ordered Bonnie and her accomplice Zinek to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties. And when they had a chance to loiter about in the yards here in the region, well, they made good use of the opportunity to line their purses.
Ay, ay, ay. What have I gotten myself into in my twilight years? Lower Samine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks. Go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Lazy bones. Whoa, boys, whoa! What's going on here? Come on. Come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
I can't see a thing through those bushes.
You'll go and have a close look. Don't worry. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally. At least we're not blocking the road too much.
Давай искать. Волк на. Что это? Питер Лес. Ну на. Нихуя он напал, блядь. И чё, блядь? Ну, нихуя. Ловушку, говорит, поставь.
Oh, Jesus, what a stench. Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
Я лучше б я к кузнецу пошел. Ну нахуй этого мельника. Пиздец, блядь. Нихуя у меня стамина тратится, ебать, при ходьбе с мешком. Охуеть. Ебать, ты чё гонишь? Это чё за корзинка? Ну-ка погоди, нахуй, что-то стоит. Это чё? Ясно, блядь. Блядь, там кто-то стоит. Чё за хуесосы там пришли? Блядь, батраки какие-то. Пиздец, курва.
No idea what you're on about, fella.
Бля, погоди. Хули надо, блядь.
Oh shit. They said they was working for you, mucking out sties. And when they left, folk noticed things missing from their chests.
Hey,
Hey,
got another one
drop that
over
right
here.
now and get over here.
Чё ты перераспиделся тут?
What's going on, Ignatius?
Мститель, блядь.
Ah,
Охуеть.
I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do with no thief. They should go to Lower Samine to complain.
Two stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars and lining their purses with silver too while they was at it. Some scruffy and dunger. You must be scruffy, eh?
I'm Henry, and those, names mean nothing to me.
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, they should have come to me. A passion for knacking is the only thing we have in common.
Is that so? So prove it then.
Take a good look at me. Do I look like a thief? Or more like a commonplace, maybe just slightly grubby, hired hand? At this rate, you could blame any old peasant who's grimy after a hard day's work.
I don't know. I don't reckon I've ever seen a real thief up close.
Ask around about me and you'll find out everyone knows I can't stand a liar. I'll keep my promises and show up on time. So enough talk and let's carry on to where duty calls us.
All right, listen. We'll be going then. But if you happen to run into them two thieves, you tell us right away. Got it?
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear it. Let's go, fellas.
Let's go, fellas.
Maybe... Did I
What's
get this
next?
right?
Уёбывай
we
нахуй
going?
отсюда, блядь.
One with that shape.
Распизделся.
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck will hold out, and we'll only be breaking the limbs of carcasses today. The next farm's just up ahead. Hop on.
Свиные ребрышки? Я тоже хочу.
Don't worry.
Сколько стоит? А? За кусок ребрышка? Пати-то, блядь. Охуеть. Я уж печенки куплю, блядь, куриные, нахуй, нажарю, блядь. Нахуй мне твои
That was
ребрышки,
just a
блядь.
kind of little favor
жрать
from
нехуй,
me.
блядь.
Now we'll help the locals here in Jdar with their carcasses.
So far, I've just carried sacks. I already did that for the miller.
Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop them up and haul them off. I mean, you'll scoop them up and haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning, the pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
All right, that's what you get. People sin here in their seclusion, thinking they're out of sight of our Lord.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
Что надо сделать?
All right, I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly. Yeah!
И что ты смотришь на меня, блядь? М?
Well, I'm here like I promised. And I even have a helper here with me who'll be doing the carrying for me today.
Poor fella. Where did you dig him up?
He came to me from Lower Samine.
So I'd better go and stand in the doorway. One eye on him, one on the chest with valuables.
This one's honest. He might even take a look to see what was troubling them pigs.
At first, I thought it was that beast of Visar's that done it, but the pigs weren't bit. So it was definitely a curse.
Curse my arse. From what you said, it had to be poisoning, but it's hard to say from what. But we may just find that out from Henry here. And as far as Visar is concerned, I'm headed there next. I have the stuff with me.
But make sure you take care of it, yeah? I can't bear it much longer.
You ain't the only one. It's been bothering the Nabokov folks too. That'll all be over today.
God reward you for it.
God don't reward me much, but I'll probably get something from the bailiff for hauling.
Well, I wish you and your helper lots of luck today. May God bless you.
You too. You too.
Пойдем. Служанка, нахуй. Ебать тут текста. Ну.
Jesus, this is disgusting. I'd rather go back to sacks of flour. Those pigs came here to drink. Where to now? I can smell something upstream. Ah, here it is. Wolves must have killed them. They didn't even eat them up. I'll go and tell Ignatius.
Как вы заебали? Раз. Иди нахуй. Вот тварь. Куда она делась, ну? Охуеть. Там волки у тебя, блядь, пиздец лютые, ну.
It really wasn't a curse. There are rotting carcasses in the water upstream from the watering spot. No wonder the pigs caught some disease.
Well, what do you know? I'll give you a hand. It'd take you all night on your own.
Всё? Блядь, надо убрать ту же сферу.
A waste of good meat. Oh well.
Мешок падалей. Падаль, блядь. Ух, ебать тяжелый.
Oh well. Poor things. A waste of good meat.
Ну да. Немало пропало мяса. Да, вот тут гнездо. вот оно.
What's next? Are we going?
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
Nice work. There's even a bit of meat left for me.
Yeah. You eat that? They've been lying there God knows how long.
But nicely in the cold. There's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, you won't be eating it, so don't worry about it. Let's keep going.
Какой-то ебанутый.
Lads, seeing as how you don't obey me, you're surely horsing around.
Погоди, дай-ка я соберу там. Оловянная бляха. Что это такое? Тут раз, два гнезда, блин. Ебать, тут гнезд.
Quit fooling around and put it away.
Вот здесь где-то. Ага, вон он. Отмычка. Неплохо. Так, и там в самом конце. Так, вот она. Ох, ебать, покатилась. О, игра... О, нихуя! Играли кость святого Антиоха. Ебать. Вот это повезло. Блядь, а почему я не могу убирать болты вот эти? Ну тут же я выбил, да? А, вот он лежит, блядь. Ёптать. Хорошо я мод поставил, чтобы увидеть их.
God bless you.
Давай, давай, пока. И тут тогда надо поднять. Мак. О, болт. Все, ебать. Погнали, да.
Come on then, get a move on. So far it ain't that bad, eh?
Так, надо мне похавать.
You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Well, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course, it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then, you've got to put down some creature, so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
Well, What can I do? But I doubt I'll feel good about it.
That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Visar. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me. Yeah! Yeah!
О, нихуя, это кто? О, яд. Не позволяет бегать и отнимать 110 здоровья в секунду. Не позволяет бегать и отнимает 110 здоровья за 60 секунд. Больше подходит для того, чтобы травить пищу в котле, чем для нанесения на оружие. Снижает энергию до нуля и восприятие притупляет. Снижает выносливость и ее восстановление на 10% сроком на 4 дня. Ага. Применить. Погоди.
Lazy bones.
Нахуя это звук был? О, бля.
Lazy bones.
Greetings.
Greetings to you too.
Did you hear about what happened at the big wheel?
At the mill? Yeah, the place by the Xerox tree.
Oh, Sakra. The dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to?
Куда же он мог съебаться? Нихуя, блядь. Так, погоди, кровь.
Barking.
Так, тут
It's coming from over there.
Ой.
Where'd you come from?
Bonnie? What are you
doing here?
First, tell me what you're doing here. And how come you're...
He's no beast. I came here to save him.
You mean steal him?
For him, it'll be a redemption from that horse and master of his. I'll take care of him, in place of my poor dead sniffer.
Bonnie... The gravedigger sent me to kill the dog. I've been paid to do it by the people whose livestock that beast killed. It's the last thing I need to do before he shows me the pit.
It's not the animal's fault. When Zenek and I were here last, I saw how old Visaric treats him. He doesn't give him food, he abuses him. With a master like that, he won't last long. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because its master is a sick horseman, would you?
Блядь, ну придется убить нахуй. Мне нужно это сделать.
That's exactly what I'll do. I won't be lectured on what's right and wrong by someone who almost cost me and Ignatius our necks. Besides, I've done worse things in my life.
Henry, you can't. You don't have a dog. You wouldn't understand.
Oh, damn it, Bonnie. I have to do it. We can't find that damn pit on our own. You better leave. so you don't have to watch.
Fuck you, Henry. I hope you're happy with yourself.
Монарх. Что мне надо сделать, ну? Применить мясо? Ой, применить яд? На мясо? Что он мне там дал? Волчья зайчатина. Выбрать. Подтвердить. Применить зайчатину. Выбрать, применить. А прежде чего он не применил? Все. Ну-ка, песик, на. Так, перепища. Зайчатина. Выкинуть. 3 штуки. Хавай, брат. Ну. Все, ебать. Так быстро?
It's done. The beast won't be barking anymore. So we can load another carcass onto the wagon and head straight to the pit.
Why would we load up that carcass? Didn't I tell you Vysarak mustn't find out?
Don't worry. He doesn't know a thing. Let's just hope his next pet isn't a wolf.
All joking aside, I wouldn't put it past that idiot. Whatever. Hop on. The pit awaits. It'll take us a while to get there, so go ahead and grab 40 winks.
О, заебись.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy. Slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
But there's hardly 3 heaps here. Is this really it? Are you yanking my pizzle again?
Of course not. True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some wet hay between them, it all rots better. And the better it rots, the more nitra you'll have. Are you going to take some right away?
I won't. The miller will probably send some people here.
Well, they'd better not dig it all up. That'd disturb the natural balance, see? And soon they'll find out there's no place to find saltpeter.
Well, I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable. I'll still have to taste it.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really is saltpeter.
God's nails. And they say I'm disgusting. Wait a moment. I've got a reward for you. Just so's you don't think old Ignatius and his even older nags is ungrateful riffraff. Take it as a thanks for your help. Maybe you'll take over my trade one day when I'm pushing up daisies myself.
Settle down in Troskowitz, build mounds of dead animals, and eat bread with saltpeter. No thanks. Not for anything in the world.
Here's something that'll definitely come in handy if you ever need to go through all this again. Either with me or somewhere else.
Thanks.
Taste it then. Get to it. This I have got to see.
Перчатки живодеру.
You didn't have to make such a feast of it.
Look at me. I'm a lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers. Cold and salty. This must be it.
Here you are, you murderer!
Заебали вы, идите
Give
на...
up!
Piss off!
Fine, you had your chance.
Отъебите, да? Блядь. Блядь, сколько за мной бежать можно? Опять у него говно. О, все. До свидания. Бля, хуёво в тросковице у меня репутация. Сука, надо было не убивать его, блядь. Ух ты, нихуя он, блядь. Скачет. Да, тебе тоже. Где этот хуй, сука? Что там по времени? Пойдем спать. Не свисти нахуй. Свисти.
Good day to you.
Ой, ебать.
Greetings, my friend.
Я нашел ту яму.
I found the place where we can harvest saltpeter. You just head out of Troskovitz towards Apollonia, carry on alongside the road, then head off it at the right spot. Only it's not a pit, it's 3 piles of earth. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there himself.
And is it the real stuff? Did you taste it?
Yeah. And I hope I never have to do that again. Ugh. I think the experience has changed me forever.
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. It's just commonplace salt. I was hoping it'd be closer. To go all the way to Apollonia. If I send 2 wagons, that should be enough.
What should I do?
That means I could mix a barrel and a half.
Crazul, focus. What else do you need from me?
Oh, sorry. What were you asking? About a reward? It's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of my field of interest and important for humanity. But certain circumstances have emerged which, unfortunately, move its creation somewhere further into the future.
Wait, what do you mean? So there won't be any golem?
Not for now.
What about all the niter? The life essence?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too much to take on, and I decided to go back to my roots.
So the search for saltpeter was for nothing?
Not at all. The saltpeter will help us create primordial matter. The origin. Chaos. Materia prima.
God. Here we go again.
As alchemical scholars, we actually have only one task before us. To penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and power from. Only then will we understand the nature of the shadows.
Eh?
I'll explain it to you.
Tell me then, what's the next task then, Crazel?
From behind the closed gates of Trotsky come quiet whispers, carried by the wind, all the way here to me in the mill. Do you hear it too?
Can you get to the point? What's this about?
Scribe Erezim received a trunk from Prague, and in that trunk was...
The document of Hermes Trismegistos?
No, a book. And from an author more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance, but the treasure's inside. You might say it's kind of an alchemical cookbook.
So I'm gonna have to pick some locks again, eh? And in the castle, no less. I'd like to know how I'm supposed to get in there. Trotsky is shut tight.
For some. The gates of Trotsky may appear to be closed to us, mere mortals. But why try to force your way in when there's a person they'll invite in themselves?
What person?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We've got the Samine wedding coming up. I can't wait to try out my new potion against drunkenness there. What about you? You still need to get there?
Certainly. It's why I decided to work for you. Or have you forgotten? I hope your promise still stands.
Of course it does. What do you take me for? Start getting ready. You've almost got a fine outfit, I see. But it still could be a lot better. Say a prayer to St. Paul. Maybe he'll send you a few nice things from heaven.
So you'll really get me into that wedding? Am I dreaming?
No, you're not. But before you start celebrating, we won't be going by ourselves. We'll have company. Or, to be more exact, the two of us will be accompanying a certain person. Me as a friend and host, and you as a bodyguard, loyal servant. Call it what you will.
It'll be some female, right?
Correct. But not just any female. A true lady will come to the wedding with us. Radiant as the morning star, refined as pure gold. All will be stunned by her beauty, and she'll be our lockpick that will find the weak spot in the gate to Trotsky. All it'll take is a little push, and clunk, the lock will open, and the book will be mine.
What weak spot?
The castle's weak spot is Chamberlain Ulrich, because he himself has a weakness for women. Of all the single damsels at the wedding, ours will be the most charming and irresistible for him. Noble or not, he's a mortal man, and he'll start to think with his male member. We will watch as he becomes feverish with lust. Soon, he'll be begging to take our companion to Trotsky. He'll pretend his motives are pure, so she'll be more comfortable. And when the Chamberlain becomes insistent, you, as her personal bodyguard, will accept his offer. Naturally, he'll say you won't leave her side so you can defend her honor. Once in Trotsky, Ulrich will do everything to get you to leave him alone with her. And that will be your chance.
can hardly believe that you, of all people, would come up with such a straightforward plan.
Well, it's not all that straightforward. I admit there's a certain element here that makes everything more complicated. First, we have to find our gracious lady.
What?
Look, she doesn't have to be a lady per se. We just need a wench with a pretty face. We'll get her a nice dress, some perfume. She doesn't even have to speak. We'll do the talking.
Could Bonnie do it?
She could. The only hitch is everyone and his dog knows her face. Nobody with any sense would let her into the Sameen wedding.
So a village girl will do?
I doubt an ordinary village girl would agree to what we're going to ask of her. You can find lots of capable girls at the Jelly-Off Baths, including some who aren't so well known. It's true, Dorothy can be a bit unpleasant, but you'll be giving her an offer she can't refuse.
Dorothy owns the bathhouse?
Aye, next to the alehouse there. You'll tell her I'm offering enough groschen to buy 2 cows or a small cottage. That should soften her up.
Can't you take care of it yourself?
I don't get on too well with Dorothy, to put it mildly. You, on the other hand, you're a talented, likable youngster, like Knight Roland of yore. I have complete faith in you. And don't forget, we're going to need to dress the girl up and make her smell nice so she comes across like a real lady. So, stop off at Troskowitz as well and get her a nice brocade dress and some long-lasting perfume. Mintha would be ideal.
Minta лучше всего будет.
Where can I find the dress?
Where do you think? The butcher's? Go and see the tailor. Bartoszek has just the thing in his shop. A beautiful red dress made of Tyrolean brocade.
Why that dress exactly?
Because red is the color of love and passion, and rich Tyrolean brocade is just begging to be touched. Ulrich won't know where to look. The dress is likely to be pretty expensive, but that's no obstacle for you, right?
Where can I find the perfume?
Emmerich the apothecary might have something. They say he makes some perfume for his wife. Or ask Betty the innkeeper. She may be a god-awful battle axe, but a nice-smelling one. Or get hold of the recipe and make your own Mintha. As an alchemy apprentice, you should be able to manage.
I'll be going then.
Once you've got everything ready for the wedding, we'll meet in front of the fortress there. I'll let our...
Да, все, иди на. Заебал пиздеть.
Grant you health.
Пиздец, меня ж тут сейчас закуют. Сюда вот там. Короче, ладно, тут сохранимся. Когда-нибудь продолжим.